Welcome everybody to the first podcast of Long Lost Cousins production. I'm here with my cousin Isaiah. If you want to say hi now. This is your chance.
What's going on?
And we have various topics we'd like to discuss today, and stuff that's actually breaking news as we are recording this at 6:45 on March 8th.
PM.
And
Don't forget that.
might as well pull us right into the first point, which is the most major news going on right now, which is potential landing spots for Antonio Brown. Now, I'm just going to ask you straight up, Isaiah, where do you think he's going from all these tweets?
The Raiders. I mean, it makes the most sense in my opinion. Raiders are in desperate need of a number one starting caliber receiver or a receiver in general, and I don't think that Seth Roberts is going to get the job done or 30-plus-year-old Jordy Nelson on his last ACL, and I don't see the Raiders not getting him because there's other offers out there for him, but who is really going to give up that much for Antonio Brown? Think about it. This guy went out there and said, I don't need football, and any team that trades from me has to play by my rules. Now, hearing that, what coach in the NFL is stupid enough getting paid like $100 million for 10 years, traded away the best defensive end? I know that's going to offend some people, but
Their
the best defensive
receiver.
end. Exactly. Oh, Amari Cooper, to the Cowboys, and look what he does. Over 200 yards against the Eagles, I'm pretty sure. And his, second game maybe? I don't know.
Dominated my Redskins on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, he did. Now, I don't know. I see Antonio Brown as, don't get me wrong. It's Antonio Brown. He's a beast. But I think he's going to slow down a bit. He's 30. He's 30 years old already, and that's usually about the time where, players slow down just a tad. Receivers at most, unless you're Jerry Rice, of course. But I don't know. What's that?
I was just going to tune in and say I do agree with you on that Raiders part. He's literally on his live stream was wearing gray and black, and his friend or whoever was in his background or whatever you would like to say said,
Yes.
You are already wearing the colors.
Yep.
So,
And actually, I saw a report that said Antonio Brown has already, told people close to him that he expects to be traded to the Raiders. Now, if he's going to announce his team later, you would think he already knows where he's going. I would assume.
I would. Yeah.
Nothing's come out. Nothing's come out about it though, which I'm kind of skeptical about still.
Yeah, I'm keeping a Hawkeye on Twitter right now.
Oh, me too.
Looking for Adam Schefter tweets, Ian Rappaport, anything that could do that. Now, another question I wanted to ask you on this was, just say the Raiders do go and get AB. What's the trade deal? How much do you think AB is going to get paid?
I'm gonna say Antonio Brown gets traded to the Oakland Raiders for one of their first-round picks, which they got 3 of them, so it's like you can afford to give up one of them. I think it's one of those. Now, I'm going to throw in a wild card here, and I'm going to say, think about this. Ben Roethlisberger is on his last leg, falling off real soon. What if they trade Derek Carr to the Steelers to sit behind Ben Roethlisberger for a couple years, or a year or two, because Ben Roethlisberger ain't got much longer.
That's not.
Just,
And
I know it's not going to happen.
That's a limb.
Just throwing a wild card right there. Could you imagine that?
Yeah. I was saying for AB to the Raiders, I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying first round pick
First
for
round pick.
a 4-year deal, 62.5 million. That's pretty much.
I
Let me do my calculations on that. That's 15 and a half a year, which he's already said
mhm.
he wants to make more than Odell Beckham, which Odell's making currently 12 million a year.
Yeah.
So I mean, for Antonio Brown, he's gonna ask for money. I don't think 15 and a half. That's right in his ball game, my opinion.
No, I agree with that, but
I mean, he's a 30-year-old
4
wide
years?
receiver. That's why.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
would.
4 year, because I don't know
I
if the Raiders are expecting, them to get another Jerry Rice when he's in his late 30s playing for him.
exactly with the Raiders and eventually the Seahawks. For a lot of people that won't know that, but also tried out for the the Denver Broncos at the age of like a little over 40, but couldn't make the cut.
Just like T.O. in his
Surprisingly.
last year at Buffalo. Just no one knows that.
Oh, Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens could have came back though, I believe, because Terrell Owens was
Oh,
really
he still wants to
crazy
come
good.
back.
I can see it.
But,
I-
even if it's not a 4-year deal, I could definitely see a 3-year deal. He's definitely making over 10 million easily in a year.
Exactly. Yep, agree.
And
Now, I don't.
you
Now
know what?
another thing I'm thinking about is yes, it's Antonio Brown. He's on the Madden cover. He's 99 overall. He's everything you want in a receiver. I mean, he's got the speed, he's got the hands, he's got everything. But why? Why would any team want him? I mean, after what he said, do they not pay attention to the media or what he's saying?
I don't know.
Calling out his quarterback, calling out his coach. You you get people you get people to lose their jobs over stuff you say. I mean,
Honestly.
you're lucky Ben Roethlisberger's not a rookie or like some mediocre quarterback, and he would lose his job over some stuff like that. It's uncalled for. I don't respect that at all.
I mean, that's how McCarthy got fired in Green Bay.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is, but I mean it's the quarterback, so
I mean,
they
that's a
get a
whole
pass.
different discussion point with Aaron
Exactly.
Rodgers. He's, but the final thing I wanted to ask you about the Antonio Brown situation is, what's your prediction for why he did not go to Buffalo?
Um, it's Buffalo. I mean, that's basically what I can. It's basically where I mean it comes to. I mean, think about it. Who wants to go to Buffalo? You got an aging LaShawn McCoy, over 30. You got
A second
who
year
do you have?
QB.
Who you got around him? Like, yeah, I'm gonna touch on Josh Allen here in a second. Trust me. I'll go on a rant about that because I'll tell you in a second. But you got Zay Jones. I mean, the best thing you had was Charles Clay, for God's sakes, and I think he's in Arizona now, isn't he? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'd assume so. But the defense ain't that great. I
And,
think Antonio Brown deep down still cares about football.
oh yeah.
That's why he didn't want to go there. But the fact is, you don't do something like that. I mean, they were off. I heard the projected trade was the ninth pick for the Steelers' 20th pick in Antonio Brown. Now that for the Steelers would just be unbelievable. That's an unbelievable trade right there. That's they would have pulled that off. That's perfect. I mean, the ninth pick in the
Oh yeah.
draft for a 30-year-old receiver. I mean, come on, any day. But I don't. It sucks. But last thing, Josh Allen. I
Josh
wouldn't
Allen.
want to play with Josh Allen either. Josh Allen will overthrow you by a mile. I mean, come on. Who in their right mind had this guy as their number one quarterback coming in the last year and then the draft? I mean, this guy he ain't good. I mean, and I'm sorry because I love Josh Allen. I'm a big fan of him, and I want to see him succeed. But he's he's not
Uh,
accurate. He's
more of
injury
a
prone.
running QB. He'll get injured next season.
Yeah, and the thing that sucks about it is that he doesn't have to be a running quarterback. The only way from Buffalo games that I've seen that he makes his plays is by running the ball.
Well, mostly because, every, I would say, 3 plays, the line is breaking
Oh, the line's
easy
terrible.
pass block coverage. I mean, considering it's Buffalo, the last, you know, half decent lineman they've had was Richie Incognito, and he was
Exactly.
roided up.
Yeah,
So
and trying to kill his father at a funeral.
that as well.
But Buffalo fans that see this, I respect you guys, and I feel so bad because as a Browns fan, I understand the position you guys are in because teams didn't want to.
Trust me, you're a Browns fan. I'm a Redskins fan. We're all suffering at the moment, but yet we feel bad for Buffalo. That's just the point
Well,
I had to bring in.
I mean, us Browns fans are in a sigh of relief right now. I mean, 7 wins is just that was astounding to us because we just got to thank our Lord and Savior Baker Mayfield. And I had to throw him in the video somehow. Baker Mayfield, best quarterback ever. I'm joking, but he's good.
All right.
But
Going to the next point while we're waiting for Antonio Brown updates. What I wanted to bring up next is actually because I'm getting breaking news from this is will the
breaking news,
Redskins get Josh Rosen even after signing Case Keenum? Now, I
No.
want to bring up this article that I just read. This is 9 minutes ago, according to J.P. Finley, who is one of the main reporters out of Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And it is reporting, this is quote unquote, J.P. Finley is reporting that the Redskins aren't done at QB. There will be another one before May, and he will be on a rookie deal. This means that they will either trade for Josh Rosen or draft a rookie. Now, at first, you see me messaging you last night. I was mad
Yeah.
as a Redskins fan. I was mad
Yeah.
at this Case Keenum trade
I don't blame you.
before the details came out.
Before, yeah. Don't get. I like Case Keenum. I like Case Keenum a lot more than a lot of people do. And the thing is, though, is that I respect like the Minnesota Vikings, and I liked them for a second. Like, I'm not a fan of them, but I liked watching them because their team all well-rounded is just well-rounded and great. Case Keenum was a great quarterback for them. I mean,
Oh yeah, definitely.
in my opinion, better option than Kirk Cousins. I'm sorry to say to all the Kirk Cousins fans out there.
Trust me, I've had to suffer through that as well.
Yeah.
But well, I would think with Case Keenum, he was put in a bad situation at Denver, a bad line.
Yep.
Only Emmanuel Sanders as his wide receiver, a great defense. That was about it.
Demarius Thomas
Until they traded, yeah. But the thing about this trade that made me go, okay, I'm not as mad as I was before, was that basically we got Case Keenum for a 2026 round pick, which we'll probably get back from Clinton Dix with the 4th round this year, which we've already gotten that pick. So this is a nothing pick to us. We're getting Case Keenum for nothing, and luckily, I'll get to you in a second. Denver has already pretty much paid Case Keenum, and we only have to pay him $3 million this year. Yeah. What I like about that is that we can just go pick up and use this cap space on bigger targets like Landon Collins, because he's going to need money. And this is why, if Kyler Murray actually goes to Arizona, which is one of our next points, I like to see the Redskins pick up Josh Rosen for maybe a second round pick, and we don't.
Second.
Rosen, listen, Josh Rosen is on a $13 million rookie deal. The Cardinals have already paid him $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting two QBs for nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about this. And I mean, I don't really like Case Keenum as a starting quarterback. So, not a bad backup. I mean, we got Colt McCoy to teach him the system. But
Yeah.
any final opinions on this?
Yeah. Let me get started with I don't see Josh Rosen going. I don't see it. Even though I think there's a big possibility it's going to happen, I don't see it as of right now. I think they're going to draft a quarterback. And I think that's the right choice, in my opinion. Only because, you saw what Josh Rosen did last year. And, yeah, he didn't have the best team. But I don't think Josh Rosen is...
He had an abysmal team.
Yeah. I don't think Josh Rosen's that quarterback to carry the Washington Redskins franchise. I mean, he's good. He's good. He's a decent. I think he's gonna be a career.
I'm gonna say he's a Colt McCoy.
I'm gonna say a Josh McCown. I hate to say it, but he's got the knowledge for the game, like Josh McCown did, and the Wonderlic test, and like Josh McCown did. And I mean, you could plug him in at any point, and I think he'll be a decent quarterback for you. And the thing is I think the Redskins are drafting a quarterback. There's no doubt about it. And they need to, because they got Case Keenum to be the bridge quarterback. And I've seen reports that say that Colt McCoy is going to be the quarterback next year. I don't want to see Colt McCoy as a quarterback next year. I want Case Keenum to be the starting quarterback until the rookie's ready. But Josh Rosen, I see going to the Miami Dolphins. Throwing it out there. Miami Dolphins. I know it's weird.
I honestly,
but
I agree with you there. I'm seeing the Redskins, the Dolphins, or he's just staying with the Cardinals. Another target who I wanted to talk about, I could say there's three options that the Redskins will do, which is Keenum, Rosen, Keenum, Bridgewater, or Keenum and Drew Lock. That's what I'm saying.
I like Drew Lock a lot myself.
Honestly, I don't see Haskins dropping that low unless something goes terrible at his pro day.
Haskins is headed to New York.
Kyler, I don't think our organization wants another RG3 incident, although it is Dan Snyder.
Number one pick.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. I'm rolling with that. Unless they can't find a trade for Josh Rosen, then they'll trade the number one pick, in my opinion. They'll fall back, and I see them maybe drafting a quarterback there, or just getting the valuable assets and then spending that for trying to keep building it up. Because that's what Arizona's got to do. Arizona builds up. They're not bad. They're not a terrible team, but they could be a lot better. But getting rid of Tyrann Mathieu hurts. I mean, that was terrible. I mean, I'm dumbfounded with the fact that they even considered getting rid of Tyrann Mathieu, which they did. But Tyrann Mathieu's one of the best safeties in football. You don't get rid of your best players for absolutely nothing. They released them, I'm pretty sure, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
released.
I don't want to hear from you, DK Metcalf, or however you say his last name, is the best receiver, because his 3-cone drill is worse than Tom Brady's.
I think he slipped. I thought I heard something that he slipped.
That's still pretty bad if he slipped.
Yeah, but he also think about this, which I'm one of those people that just studies hardcore about the draft and scouts and all that. I'm a big scout myself, and not to toot my own horn, but DK Metcalf is going to be a great receiver. I mean, there's no doubt about it. mainly off athleticism, and that's what Calvin Johnson is. But Calvin Johnson definitely is better because it's Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
But he's bigger than Calvin Johnson. There's no doubt about it. And he's got what 1.6% body fat, which looking at it now, once they did it again, he's got 4%. He's got 4%.
That's so crazy.
But yeah, that's insane.
I think with DK, to make him like a great receiver, like Antonio Brown, Calvin Johnson, specifically Julio Jones, I compare them to the most. I would say if you want to get this system working around DK, I don't think his route running's terrible. I think you should just if
it's mainly just a streak. I mean, that's all it is.
He's going to the top 15, like 15 area.
Oh, easily.
Some projections say the Redskins.
Some people say the Browns. Which I would
say the Browns.
I would love because I need a receiver.
If
I'll take Marquise Brown DK,
though. I would say just streak or jet sweeps. That's
right.
About all I can give him until he can prove me wrong at like pro day.
Yeah, which I think
Kyler stock will drop then too.
Oh, I think it's gonna go crazy. I think it's gonna go soaring because his 40-yard dash, which I hate that people just care mainly about the 40-yard dash because the 40-yard dash proves nothing at all.
Yeah,
unless you're a running back, then you're Elijah Holyfield and you get worse running time than most of the defensive players, and it's like, are you serious? I mean, but DK is a receiver that is known. I mean, he's got injury problems. He had a neck injury, and that's not what I'm basing my comparison of him off of, just because this guy had the same thing basically. But my comparison for him is Mike Williams from Los Angeles Chargers. Now they're both big. They're both freakishly athletic. Even though DK is just a monster. He's like,
yeah.
He looks like a defensive end. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. He looks like Myles Garrett, but bigger probably, maybe. But he I don't know. I see him being a good receiver. I see him being a top 15 receiver in the NFL. But I don't see him being the number one receiver because my number one receiver coming into this draft is A.J. Brown, his teammate. Him or Marquise Brown from Oklahoma. Cause I love watching Hollywood Brown. He's
projected as second.
Oh my God, he's just insane. And he's Antonio Brown's cousin, so yeah. The Raiders might want to. I bet the Raiders look at him a little bit too.
I could say, from the combine so far, the people who have dropped out of the first and became second-round picks are Hollywood Brown, Will Grier, and Shea Patterson dropped majorly. They wanted him to play D-back at the combine.
Shea Patterson?
From
Michigan.
Penn State.
Oh, Trace McSorley, you mean?
Wait, hold up. I swear it's Shea Patterson.
Because Shea Patterson's quarterback from Michigan. He returned for his junior year? Senior, I'm pretty sure. But Trace McSorley, freakishly athletic.
Yeah, my bad on that.
They wanted him to play defensive back, safety, tight end.
They completely disrespected him.
Oh, it's terrible. I mean, it's the Lamar Jackson theory, but in my opinion, Trace McSorley is gonna be, if ever given the chance, a great NFL quarterback. The dude did nothing but win. Look at him in college, and look at him in high school also. I love watching his highlights in high school because the dude was not but a winner. The dude's a baller, straight winner. I don't see what the knock on him is. I can see where people are coming from with this. But Trace McSorley should not be as low as an undrafted free agent. Dude, if Lamar Jackson could be a first-round pick, this dude could be at least a fourth or third-round pick.
He's getting no draft buzz.
Oh, it's awful. I mean, he just ran
4.57.
Yes, yeah, something crazy like that. That's insane. That's faster than what Manziel, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, a bunch of those guys.
And
Insane.
teams aren't even looking. When you go to a combine and more teams want you to try out as defensive back, it's another. Basically, I mean, you can say, other than his first 2-3 years,
Yep.
it's another Terrell Pryor, basically.
Basically, just not as big because Terrell Pryor's a freak.
Which I think he's
Still, in
on
my
the
opinion,
Bills.
Terrell Pryor should have never left the Browns. That was the stupidest thing he's ever done.
He had a horrid year with the Redskins, and then
Oh, dude, I felt bad for the Redskins.
he was
They
on
wasted
the
money on him.
Jets traded him to the
Yep.
Bills. Bills cut him.
And then the Bills
Now
cut
he's on
him.
a future
Wait, did
contract.
did he go to the Bills?
Yeah, he's on the Bills. He got put on IR. They released him, signed him when he was healthy.
Yeah.
So he's on a reserve contract right now. We've
That's-
taken this topic way out of.
Yeah,
time.
definitely. But I mean, we add more time to it to our podcast.
But
we might get as much time as we can.
But the next point I would like to bring up, because we're talking about the combine and everything. Which team do you think will pull the switch on Kyler?
Number 1, Arizona. It's no doubt.
No doubt.
Cliff Kingsbury, head coach. He from Texas Tech. He loves Kyler. He said he would draft Kyler number 1. Now he denies it to this day that he would do it now. But I mean, he straight out, flat out said he would do it. And he also said, when asked about Josh Rosen being the quarterback of the future, he said, Josh Rosen is the quarterback of this future. For now.
For now, yeah. Put that in quotations, slap a sticker on it. Whatever.
Exactly.
For now.
He is not. I hate to say it because I like Josh Rosen so much. Rosen. I mean, God, I thought this guy was going to be one of the best quarterbacks. I thought of him coming out. I know this is going to sound stupid to a lot of people, but a lower arm strength version, higher IQ of Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that's just what I thought about him. I mean, coming out of California, he
I like that comparison.
He had everything about him at the time. His body, he doesn't have the body to be an NFL quarterback. This dude got hurt playing tennis. A severe injury got hurt playing tennis. How do you, I mean, if you can't take hits from guys like Aaron Donald, Myles Garrett coming at you, then you can't play quarterback in the NFL because no teams.
I could
Rosen.
legit say
Rosen,
this. 100%. You can quote me on this. If Kyler doesn't go to the Cardinals, expect my people are saying, oh, if he doesn't go there, Jaguars, Giants. Watch the Cincinnati Bengals.
Cincinnati, really. Whew.
Andy Dalton's been.
Now,
what has Andy Dalton done?
Oh, absolutely nothing. I mean, his first couple of years? Yeah, I went to the playoffs, but that's cute. Anybody can go to the playoffs. What's his name?
Trent Green. No.
Trent Dilfer.
Trent
Dilfer, for God's sakes, won a Super Bowl. I mean, any fool can do it. I mean, Nick Foles, the new quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars, won a Super Bowl. Nick Foles, which, okay, this is off topic, but Nick Foles is going to be horrible for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know why you news reporters, you media hypes, all had Nick Foles as your top 5 free agent. Like, this dude is not a top 5 free agent. This dude is not even a top 100 free agent. I don't think Nick Foles is a great quarterback. He won Super Bowl MVP because of the system. The system he played in Philadelphia, it's perfect for him.
Finally, someone's spitting facts. Honestly, you're taking a 30-year... people are like, oh, you got people like Tom Brady, 41, Ben Roethlisberger...
Tom Brady's arguably the greatest quarterback
37, ever. I believe. Nick Foles is not... Okay. Nick Foles, when he was drafted in 2000, I would say 2012, in the third round, when he replaced
Was it the
Michael
third
Vick,
round? Was it the third round?
yes, it was the third round. He had what, a good year of 7 touchdowns, then went into obscure things, whatever you want to call it, obscure passing. He was really bad at passing, actually.
Oh, it was terrible.
And then
the Rams wasted so much money on him; it wasn't even funny.
Honestly, and that's what I believe. That was my next point.
Exactly.
Jacksonville's gonna do the same thing.
Oh, don't forget, Jacksonville has also acquired the rights to look at Teddy Bridgewater, so don't forget about that, because I guess Teddy Bridgewater's a future quarterback of them too. Even though I love Teddy Bridgewater, because I thought him coming out of Louisville, he was the third best quarterback in the class. I hate to say it, but I thought Blake Bortles was going to be the number one. Johnny Manziel. Okay, I had Johnny Manziel number 2, even though anybody that actually knows me knows I'm the biggest Johnny Manziel fan you'll ever find. But I wanted Blake Bortles over Johnny Manziel, sue me, because I knew what was going to happen. I knew it was all going to go down like this, but I just didn't want to believe it. And I thought, he was going to be decent. And Blake Bortles turned out to be absolute crap. One of the worst quarterbacks we've ever seen. Basically a smaller, fatter version of Josh Allen. And again, Nick Foles is not the quarterback. I think they should have just drafted a quarterback. You could have got a quarterback in the second round. Will Greer and Drew Lock are the 2 top best quarterbacks in this class. I know everybody loves Haskins. I know everybody loves Murray. Murray's 5'10". Murray, played in the spread offense. Come on, anybody can throw. Any fool can throw a touchdown in the spread offense. Baker Mayfield did it, but Baker Mayfield, there's a big difference. Baker Mayfield's an NFL pro quarterback, and I don't think Kyler Murray is that yet. Could he? Yeah, I think so. But look,
my top two QBs right now is Haskins, Drew Lock. So we're way off. Me and you are way off right now.
Yeah. The thing I have against Haskins is I love watching him. I love watching the dude. But a lot of his stats are padded. Think about this. A lot of his plays were checkdowns.
I agree with you there.
And Paris Campbell, which I love Paris Campbell, but he mainly had running backs as receivers. That's what Ohio State does. They get running backs to play receiver. And it's like, come on. And he throws a slant, he throws a check down, that guy's off to the races. It's over. But Dwayne Haskins, I've seen him against Penn State or top tier teams, not including Michigan, because Michigan is complete trash. You gave up 60 plus points and you're the number 1 defense. Ooh.
But yeah, no. But everyone always brings up Purdue.
Oh man. Oh, don't even get me started. It was just an off night. I know Purdue fans, any Purdue fans, which I would not assume for us just starting this we're going to have any. But Purdue just came out, they played it, they wanted it. They always play tough against Ohio State. Ohio State always has a tough time against Purdue in the later coming of years. But I don't think Dwayne Haskins is my top quarterback. I can't put him there because the history of Ohio State quarterbacks, and it exactly comes down to any quarterback that's come before him. And the fact is that
what's the last time Ohio State quarterback has done something? Cardo Jones. I don't even think he's on the Chargers anymore. JT Barrett got kicked. He's not even on the Saints because of Teddy Bridgewater as a third string. Braxton Miller's a wide receiver who's on the Eagles.
Terrell Pryor's a wide receiver.
Terrell Pryor's a wide receiver. Troy Smith didn't even play.
I will give you Troy Smith. Though, because Troy Smith would have been the starting quarterback that year if Joe Flacco would have never came in and Troy Smith didn't get hurt. Now, don't get me wrong, Troy Smith wouldn't have been, in my opinion, anything special, but Troy Smith was the starting quarterback that year, and rightfully so, because Troy Smith is, he's one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch because Troy Smith could do it all. I mean, he had the
Oh,
athleticism, he had the arm, he had everything. Now his throwing motion was a little awkward in my opinion, but
yeah.
he could have been a decent starting quarterback in the NFL. And
I
I
agree with
believe
you.
that
He
I
just
believe
didn't get his
I
chance.
believe that's Haskins, in my opinion. But Haskins has a higher ceiling and higher but okay, he's gonna get a first round pick, which is insane because him coming off his first year as a starting quarterback is just monumental, which is awesome. It's awesome to see an Ohio State quarterback finally getting recognition, and maybe this will make way for Justin Fields or
Oh
any
yeah.
other future quarterbacks coming from Ohio State.
But not to go too much off topic. Uh, Kyler Murray, Arizona, Cincinnati, Miami,
Oakland, Oakland.
Oakland,
I'm throwing Oakland in there because
and
they put Derek
I'm.
Carr on the trading block.
This is another interesting one. Uh,
Don't
those are
forget the Redskins.
that's the end. That's the end of the Kyler Murray discussion. But I was just going through the draft order, and another interesting discussion. I believe Teddy Bridgewater will go to Carolina, just because Cam Newton's going to be out all year.
You think Teddy Bridgewater is going to Carolina? Is he confirmed to be out all year?
Yes, he is.
That's sad. I hate to see players like that get derailed by injury. And then you got players like Antonio Brown complaining about a contract that, I mean, he complains about the quarterback when, off topic, but Larry Fitzgerald came out in an interview and said, over the years, I've had bad quarterbacks throw the ball to me. You should be grateful to have a Hall of Fame quarterback. And I hate the Steelers with all my heart. I hate Ben Roethlisberger. But Ben Roethlisberger is a Hall of Fame quarterback. And Antonio Brown has no right, no place to ever talk down on a Hall of Fame quarterback like that. That's disrespectful. Just like Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell, I don't even care where Le'Veon Bell goes at this point. How are you going to sit out on your team like that? It's complete and total utter disrespect.
Let the diva divas
Yep.
get their money.
Yeah.
And then see what it's really
Jets.
like. Which is why I love Larry Fitzgerald. His quote on Antonio Brown saying you just don't you don't know how much you have it good is perfect on the situation.
It's perfect. Because think about this. He had an aging Kurt Warner, which Kurt Warner is still in his day. They went to the Super Bowl and should have won it, but it's Antonio Holmes had that catch. But even though I think Antonio Holmes was out on that play because you look at the picture. But he had him. He had Carson Palmer. He had Mike Glennon. He had Sam Bradford. He had Josh Rosen. And who's the Drew Stanton? He had Drew Stanton. I mean, come on. Who wants Drew Stanton?
I think most deserving in the league right now, most deserving to win a Super Bowl is Adrian Peterson and Larry Fitzgerald.
Adrian Peterson, yes. I think, will the Redskins sign Adrian Peterson again? Will they re-sign him? You think so?
I hope they do.
I hope so too. I saw a video last week of him running a 4.4 40-yard dash. Think about that. That's outrageous. I love AP all day. I respect the hell out of that guy. I mean, that is one of the best running backs we've ever seen.
I want to swing in because we've already discussed about it. Which team do you think will land Le'Veon Bell?
Colts, Jets, 49ers. Those are my three teams. Now, I think it's going to be the Jets, in all honesty, because, the Jets, need a running back big time. And the Jets are too stupid. They're stupid. I mean, for God's sakes, they hired Adam Gase as their quarterback. I mean, coach. Head coach, yeah. But it's like, okay, you're really dumb enough to make that decision. You're dumb enough to draft Sam Bradford. Not Sam Bradford.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold. Which I love Sam Darnold, but Sam Darnold was not deserving of going number 3. If anything, at the time, I would have rather had Josh Rosen. But before anybody says anything, I do like Sam Darnold more. But Sam Darnold was an interception machine galore in college. Oh my gosh.
He was second. He was second. Big Ben finished first.
Oh, yeah. but I think Sam Darnold will be a good NFL quarterback. But I think I would have took Josh Rosen. But I think the Jets are getting Le'Veon Bell. They're going to screw up because he's a system running back. I don't know how many times I had to repeat myself, and I'm glad I'm finally going to say it on air so anybody could hear it. Le'Veon Bell is a system running back. He's not the best running back in the NFL. Zeke Elliott, Saquon Barkley, Todd Gurley, poor guy has Arthur. I don't even know how to say it. Has something bad with his knees. Arthritis? Yeah, that's what it is. Him, David Johnson, poor guy, deserves so much better. And I feel bad because it's like, man, poor guy, he's stuck in Arizona.
Well, I'm well with you on Le'Veon Bell to the Jets.
Yep.
I mean,
it makes
if
sense.
it's perfect, it makes sense. That's like the only place that makes sense for Le'Veon Bell. Now, many people have been saying the Colts, but Marlon Mack is definitely overlooked. I mean, he missed the first 5 games of the season, still had over 900 yards rushing. Was a fantasy machine. I'm glad I picked him up in fantasy.
Oh yeah.
I don't think they'll. The Colts, they have the cap space, but they won't pull the trigger on Le'Veon Bell. I can guarantee you that.
Exactly. And yeah, I don't see it. Even though I think there's, if you're looking at this from the perspective of a Colts fan or a Colts player or Colts coach, you're looking at this as this is arguably the best running back out there. Don't care if it's a system running back. I think it's like we pick up a star running back, got a star quarterback, star receiver, star tight end. Offense line is great because of one player. For God's sakes, Quentin Nelson should have won MVP. I'm not even gonna lie. He should have been getting some recognition. But the defense is great. Darius Leonard is amazing. Malik Hooker is going to come back better than ever next year. I love the Colts team. The Colts team is something deadly.
That's a team I'm looking at next year.
Even though Andrew
And
Luck's,
I mean, people are gonna be like, "Well, Le'Veon Bell can add to that." No. Marlon Mack's already learned their system. The Colts run a completely different system than the Steelers. That 100%. But
yeah.
I think final opinion on this, Jets are the answer.
Yeah, the Jets or the 49ers. Don't forget about them. You never know. The 49ers could be a team that traded for Antonio Brown too, because they want him bad. I forgot about them.
They jumped out. They jumped out.
They jumped out?
Yeah, they jumped out of discussions.
Oh my gosh, dude. They would have got Le'Veon and Antonio Brown. That could have been. Yeah, he's still a system running back, but I mean that team would have been looked at as like the super team of they're the Golden State Warriors of the NFL at this point. If they would have, that offense is insane. Jimmy Garoppolo, George Kittle. I love George Kittle, dude. He is so good.
Trust me, that team's that team. Although it went pretty bad, they're second in the draft, but they have a great team. They just got unlucky with injuries.
I'm gonna throw it out there. Anybody that says otherwise, I will argue to the day I die. Jimmy Garoppolo is not worth the money he was paid. I don't think he's that great. I know there's a lot of Jimmy Garoppolo fans out there, but he played in Belichick's system. Any quarterback could play in Belichick's system. Look at hell's his name?
Brian Orr.
No, 2007 season went 11-5, missed the playoffs by 1 game. But what's his name? I don't even remember. But he filled in for Tom Brady after Tom Brady tore his ACL. He went 11-5, and then the Chiefs paid him a ridiculous amount, and he absolutely sucked. But I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo's the top tier quarterback that everyone's expecting. I mean, yeah, he'll win you some games, but long term, no, I don't see it.
And I 100% agree on that. And it was Matt Castle, by the way, but
Matt Castle, that's who it was. Yep. I forget his name, and it's definitely not hard to forget his name. Jesus.
Yeah. But another thing, because this is what our initial point. This is our final point. Our initial point spawned from AB going to the Raiders,
Yep, but
and
I got my phone right next to me waiting.
you had your initial opinion of what I'm gonna talk about. And do you really believe, which you've already said this, that the Raiders will get rid of Derek Carr?
Yes, I believe rightfully so. And honestly, from his rookie year on, he's got worse. I mean, after that injury, his career just it fell. I mean, I feel bad for the guy. I love Derek Carr. I mean, I think he'll be I think he'll be great somewhere else. Got to add the dot in there because I mean it's a done deal in Oakland. I mean the Raiders are moving on. He's moving on. I think they're rebuild. They're definitely rebuilding. They got 10 years of it. I mean 9 years now, but 10 years of John Gruden. I mean,
Call me
hopefully he
crazy.
turns that franchise around.
Call me crazy.
Okay.
They give a first round pick to AB. They pay
But
AB.
will they give up more than just a first round pick though? That's the thing I'm wondering about.
They trade Derek Carr to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They draft Will Greer.
Will Greer. You think they're gonna draft Will Greer?
I think they'll play it safe with the quarterback.
If anybody,
If
I think it's gonna
if
be Kyler if he falls.
if Drew Lock is still at the board, they'll pull Drew Lock. But I'm guaranteeing with the Cowboys pick they've got in return, I'm expecting Will Greer to go.
Really, really, wow, that's and I like that. I like that a lot because I think he'd be great in Oakland, honestly. And
All the pieces fit.
oh yeah, easily. I mean, don't get me wrong, they do, but
I mean, at this point, the
if
Dolphins will take anybody. I mean, they've had Ryan Tannehill for the past 5+ years, so you know.
which I tried to pawn off to the Washington for a second there, but Washington said no. Even though, in my opinion, Ryan Tannehill over Case Keenum.
I
But
don't
he
know
wanted more.
about that.
But he's getting paid. You don't think Case Keenum is worse than Ryan Tannehill?
I'd rather have Keenum than Tannehill.
Oh man, that's tough. Oh man, I don't know.
I don't know. I like the
Oh,
key.
but
I like. Yeah.
The Dolphins are they are not. Another thing I forgot about is I don't think the Dolphins will draft a quarterback this year. I think they're gonna wait and they're going to take
Oh,
Tua Tagovailoa.
that's why I think if they do go with Derek, it's either they go with Derek Carr and they don't pay him much, or they just tank for Tua.
Well, Derek Carr's getting paid a lot of money right now, isn't he?
I don't. Yeah, he is actually.
I forgot about that. That's an outrageous amount of money, especially I think Derek Carr is lost a step, and I hate to say it because he's only, what, 5 years into his NFL career? Yeah, 5 years, 2014, 2019, yeah. 5 years? Yeah, 5 years. And I think he'll be good somewhere else, though. But he'll be a starter. He's a starter quality. The comparison is, to me, without the speed and the athleticism of him, but Tyrod Taylor, the bridge quarterback for the new quarterback coming in, and then you can just pawn him off later on like they did to Cleveland. But Tyrod Taylor, win you some games, get you those wins, and I don't know. I like Derek Carr, but I don't
I
I
don't
don't
see him
see
as a
him.
Raider.
I don't see him as a Raider next year. I don't see it. I don't do I want to see it? No. But if it comes down to it, John Gruden said he loves Kyler Murray. And they're threatening to trade up to get the number one pick from Arizona. And Arizona wants to trade the number one pick if they can't get a trade for Rosen. So if they trade up, take Kyler number one, And Kyler, okay, I'm gonna say this right now. If Kyler does not work out, if they trade up for number one, I fire John Gruden's ass on the spot. I'm done. That would be the ultimate breaking point for me. You got rid of Khalil Mack, franchise player. I mean, one of the best players in the NFL. You got rid of Amari Cooper, a star receiver, and you're gonna take Kyler, 5'10" Doug Flutie Jr. that could barely make it to the CFL, even though he tore it up in the CFL. But Kyler Murray is not. I mean, a NFL quarterback yet. Still gonna say yet because I'm not just gonna knock the kid for, being nothing when, of course, he did great. But I'm going to get off topic for a second. And anybody that doesn't agree with that, Kyler Murray played in the spread offense, like I said earlier. He played against who? What teams specifically did he play against that had a great defense? The one team that he played that had a decent overall defense? What, Texas? And they lost to Texas, but they did come back and beat them. But they lost to Texas, and you lost to Texas.
They
Sam
still
Ehlinger
gave up 40 points to him.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's like, are you serious? I mean, there's no defense played in that conference. It's pathetic and it's sad. Now, when Kyler Murray was in the SEC at my team, Texas A&M, which I wish he still would have never left, but he did. He was a joke of a quarterback. He looked like, I mean, a deer in the headlights. Just, running out there. I mean, that's all he did was just run. He couldn't throw. He couldn't throw against Alabama. He couldn't throw against Ole Miss, Mississippi State, any of those teams.
He's basically a modernized Josh Allen.
Exactly. Just smaller and faster.
Well, I mean, my opinion, your draft stock goes down to me if you let Kansas put up 40 on you, my opinion.
Yep. The whole defense. I mean, I wouldn't draft a player in the first 3 rounds from Oklahoma or any team in the Big 12.
On that defense, yeah.
Yeah, in the offense, though. Marquise Brown. I mean, but the thing is, though, is that the offense is crazy.
Any more points you want to point out?
Not about that.
All right. Well, I think this wraps up our very first podcast of the Long Lost Cousin Productions.
Now,
final word from Isaiah.
Before we end this, I want to bring up one more discussion.
Oh, all right.
All right, are you ready for this?
Okay.
Okay, this is, completely off topic. This is insane. This is just throw it out there.
All right.
If, I know me and you have gone back and forth with this for years. If he never died, is Sean Taylor right now one of the best of all time, even though he only played 4 or 5 years?
No.
I agree, but if he would have never died, he would have been. I think he would have been. I think he would have been an all-time great. But I just see, I was watching another podcast, and they brought up that point because a fan commented and asked him about it, and I was like, me and him, we both like Sean Taylor, so I was like, I might as well ask him what he thinks. Like, what are your thoughts on Sean Taylor?
I think definitely Sean Taylor was a very good free safety, but I'm trying to think of his name right now. He would have just Patriots safety.
Right now?
No, this is 10 years ago.
Patriots safety from 10 years ago?
He would have damn. I cannot remember his name. I am sorry for this delay, but
Rodney Harrison?
Yes, Rodney Harrison.
That's the first name. I was like, okay, that's the first name I could think of because I know Rodney Harrison. He was decent. He was pretty good.
He that's all. That's what I would believe that Sean Taylor would have been like,
Just with more hit power.
just with more
Yeah.
hit power, more hits.
Oh yeah.
That I mean, if you look at Sean Taylor's stats, he does not
I
have
mean,
the best stats.
oh no, but he was still up and coming. He, was he was kind of he was kind of a troublemaker in the beginning years. He like,
Oh yeah,
rookie year he didn't. I might be getting my facts wrong, but I think he held out. If I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but
he wouldn't
he
show
sat
up.
out.
He
Yeah,
just
he
wouldn't
sat
show.
out all
He
that.
would rather be at home with family than
Yeah, which
there.
don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a great guy right there, but you're a football player, first round pick. Show up.
Uh, I think Sean Taylor would have definitely been a Hall of Famer,
Yeah, I agree.
but he wouldn't have
Oh,
been a Night Train Lane.
no, he's no Ed Reed. He's
Yeah,
no
he wouldn't
Brian
have been.
Dawkins.
Oh yeah, he 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 would have been on a Rodney Harrison level of
He reminds me
oh
of. He
that's
reminds me
the
of.
that's the dude who made big hits. That's what he's gonna be
Yeah,
remembered as.
a little
Now,
John Lynch Jackson.
basically,
And in my opinion, he reminds me of Eric Berry. I mean, Eric Berry's gonna go down as one of the best to ever do it, and that's what I think of Sean Taylor going down as. That's what he would have went down as, just like Eric Berry. I mean, no Super Bowl because I mean, both of our teams, none of us could win a Super Bowl in this time period. But quarterback situation, it's killed us back then. Not so much for the Browns, but
to end your point, I believe Sean Taylor would have definitely been a good football player.
I agree.
Definitely, possibly even a Hall of Famer. But
Yes.
he wouldn't have been as popular as he is now, as he will be in 20 years, as he would have been if he was still alive.
Mhm.
And that's gonna be my final statement.
Yep, I agree.
So
And
let us know what
that's
you
it.
guys think of our opinions in the comments. Uh, we're trying to do this every week. We're recording on every single
Yeah.
Friday and posting it on Saturday. And I hope you guys all enjoy this first episode. And we'll see you guys later.